Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How much of your potential are you using? How much of what's inside of you have you truly tapped into? You see, the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life lived far below its potential. Every one of us has been given something extraordinary, the ability to grow, to change, to improve. But potential is like a seed. If you don't plant it, nurture it, and work on it, it remains just that, a seed. Most people live their lives in a comfort zone, never stretching, never reaching, never unlocking what's inside of them. But I say, why wait? Why put it off? Why settle? If you want a better life, if you want to reach new heights, you have to decide right now to unleash your potential. Here's the key. It won't happen by accident. You have to be intentional. Growth is not automatic. Success is not reserved for the lucky. It's reserved for those who are willing to do what it takes. So how do you do it? How do you unlock the doors to your greatest self? Let me give you a roadmap. Let me tell you something crucial. Nothing changes until you make a decision. You see, far too many people live their lives waiting for the right moment, the right set of circumstances, or the right opportunity to come along. They think success is something that happens by chance or luck. But the truth is, success begins with a decision to change, a decision to improve, a decision to no longer accept the status quo. You must realize that the power to shape your future lies in your hands right now. Today, this very moment, your life will not transform unless you take that first bold step. You can dream all you want, you can plan and think about it, but until you make a decision, nothing changes. A decision is the starting point. It's when you decide that something must change that the wheels of transformation begin to turn. And let me tell you this, it doesn't have to be a huge, grand gesture. The most important decisions are often the quietest ones, made in a moment of reflection, or perhaps even in a moment of frustration when you're fed up with being stuck. The decision doesn't have to be perfect or filled with guarantees, it just has to be made. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. If you wait until everything aligns perfectly, you'll still be standing still. Every successful person, every individual who has achieved greatness started with a simple decision. The decision to commit, the decision to act, the decision to stop making excuses and start making progress. And here's the kicker, this decision is not a one-time thing. It's a commitment that you renew every single day. Once you decide you must act, then you must keep acting. Then you must keep acting some more. It's about momentum, about putting one foot in front of the other, and about making sure you don't let fear, doubt, or setbacks stop you. But it all starts with that decision. Decide today, not tomorrow, not next year, not when things are easier. If you truly want to change your life, make the decision right now. That decision will determine your direction, your efforts, and your future. If you keep waiting, the years will slip by, and you'll find yourself still wondering what could have been. But if you decide today, right now, to go for it, to unlock your potential and never look back, you'll be on your way to something extraordinary. The power is yours. It all begins with that one simple act. Decide today. Let me tell you something very important. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. If you don't know where you're going, then you're simply drifting. Life has a way of throwing us off course, making us question our path, or even pushing us into situations where we feel like we're just trying to survive. But survival is not the goal. Success is, and success requires a clear vision of where you want to go. A vision is the roadmap to your future. It's the picture you carry in your mind that pulls you forward, that inspires you to get up every morning and keep pushing. Without a vision, you're like a ship without a rudder, wandering aimlessly through life, hoping to land somewhere worthwhile. But with a vision, you can chart a course, set your sail, and head straight toward your destination. Now, a vision isn't something you simply dream up in a moment of inspiration. It's something you create. It's a combination of your deepest desires, your values, and the kind of person you want to become. It's more than just goals. It's a picture of your ideal life, the life you know you were meant to live. And if you can't see it clearly, you'll never reach it. You need to be able to envision your future in vivid detail. You have to see it, smell it, feel it. Every successful person I've ever known has had a strong, clear vision of where they were headed. But here's the key, your vision has to be bigger than where you are right now. If your vision is tied to your current circumstances, then you'll never break free from them. Your vision has to stretch you, challenge you, and inspire you to be more, do more, and become more. It must excite you, fill you with passion, and make you get out of bed early because you're eager to get started on the journey. If your vision doesn't do that for you, then it's not big enough, and remember, your vision must be yours. You don't let someone else's idea of success define yours. Your vision is a reflection of your unique values, your talents, and your deepest goals. It's about creating something that's meaningful to you, not what society expects, not what your family or friends think you should do. It has to come from within. Once you have that vision, let it be your guide. When you face challenges or moments of doubt, your vision will be the thing that pulls you through. When obstacles arise, and they will, your vision will remind you of why you started, And that is the fuel you need to keep going. The clearer and more powerful your vision, the stronger your resolve will be to push forward no matter what. You must also understand that your vision won't always come to life overnight. It takes time, effort, and persistence. But with a clear vision, every small step you take will be moving you closer to the life you've imagined. You won't be wandering aimlessly anymore. You'll have a sense of direction, a purpose, and a destination in mind. So take some time right now to get clear on your vision. What does your ideal future look like? Where do you want to be in the next year, 5 years, or 10 years? What kind of person do you need to become to make that vision a reality? Once you know what you're aiming for, you will have the power to make it happen. Develop your vision, make it real in your mind, and let it pull you toward the life you were meant to live. The moment you do this, the journey becomes clear and success becomes inevitable. Here's a simple but powerful truth. You are the most important investment you can make. Think about it. If you want a better life, a more successful life, a life of abundance, it starts with you. Too many people focus on external factors, thinking that they need to change their environment or their circumstances to succeed. But what they often miss is the most important factor: investing in themselves. Look, you are your own greatest asset. You are the one who will determine your future, and you are the one who will create the conditions for your success. If you don't take the time and effort to improve yourself, then you're leaving your future up to chance. If you're not learning, growing, and becoming better, then you're falling behind. And I can promise you the world is not going to wait for you. The competition is fierce, and the demands of life are high. But when you invest in yourself, when you continually develop your skills, broaden your knowledge, and sharpen your mindset, you become a force to be reckoned with. Now, I'm not talking about spending money on fancy courses or books just for the sake of it. I'm talking about real intentional investment. Time and energy, above all else, should be spent on improving yourself. It's about constantly striving to become a better version of who you were yesterday. That might mean learning a new skill, improving your health, expanding your knowledge, or mastering a discipline. Every bit of time and effort you put into your personal growth pays off in dividends. But here's the kicker: this investment doesn't always have immediate returns. Sometimes you may feel like you're putting in all this work and not seeing results right away. Don't be discouraged. Just like any investment, it takes time to grow, but over time, the compound effect of small improvements, habits, and investments adds up. Every hour you spend reading, every skill you master, every piece of knowledge you acquire makes you that much more valuable. And here's the thing: it doesn't stop with knowledge. You've got to put what you learn into action. You can't just read books or take courses without applying what you've learned. Action is the bridge between learning and success. Action is where the magic happens. It's not enough to be educated. You have to execute. You have to put the theory into practice and see the results for yourself. One of the greatest mistakes people make is thinking that they'll arrive at a place of success without constant improvement. But you have to realize that growth is a lifelong process. The moment you stop learning, stop developing, stop improving is the moment you start to decline. The world around you keeps moving, and if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. So ask yourself, how much are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to make the commitment to grow? Are you willing to sacrifice time and energy now to build the future you desire? Because let me tell you, the best investment you can make is not in stocks, not in real estate, but in yourself. When you grow, everything else grows. Your opportunities grow, your confidence grows, your income grows, and your impact grows. Invest in yourself every day. Make it a priority, not a side thought. And as you continue to invest in yourself, you'll start to see just how powerful the returns are. The more you grow, the more you'll be able to give to the world, and the more you'll get back in return. It's a powerful cycle. So start today. Invest in your future, invest in your personal growth, and the results will follow. Let me tell you something that can truly change the course of your life. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how many resources you have, or how strong your desire is. If you can't build discipline, you'll struggle to reach your potential. Talent can get you started, but discipline is what will carry you across the finish line. Look, we all have dreams, right? Big dreams, but dreams alone won't take you anywhere. Discipline is what turns those dreams into reality. Discipline is the consistent action that makes success inevitable. It's the daily decisions, the small habits, the hard work that you put in, even when no one is watching, that shapes your future. The truth is, life will never be perfectly convenient, and the path to success won't always be smooth. There will be days when you don't feel like working, when you'd rather take a shortcut or skip a task. But those are the days that matter the most. Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. About showing up, putting in the effort, and staying the course no matter what. Here's the reality: without discipline, you're just relying on hope, and hope is not a strategy. And hope doesn't work when the hard times come. Hope doesn't build the muscle you need to overcome adversity. But discipline is what teaches you to keep going, to push through the tough tooth, and to stay focused on the end goal. Now, building discipline is not easy, but it's simple. It's about making a commitment to yourself that no matter what, you will follow through. It's about creating a routine, a structure, a set of habits that reinforce your success. Discipline starts with small things, the little promises you make to yourself each day and the little actions you take. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier. Maybe it's saying no to distractions. Maybe it's staying focused on the task at hand instead of procrastinating. These small, consistent actions compound over time, and eventually you'll look back and realize that you've built a life of discipline, and that discipline has led you to places you once only dreamed of. Here's the kicker. Discipline is freedom. It might sound contradictory, but it's true. When you have discipline in your life, you free yourself from the chains of mediocrity. You free yourself from the chaos of not knowing what to do or how to stay on track. With discipline, you're in control, and control equals power. You begin to see results in areas you never thought possible because discipline allows you to harness your energy, focus, and efforts into the areas that truly matter. But building discipline doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. You have to be patient with yourself. You're not going to wake up one day and suddenly have perfect discipline. It takes practice, consistency, and the willingness to push through discomfort. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. And here's another thing, don't wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to feel motivated to start. Discipline is about committing to the process, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from steady, consistent progress. The more you make discipline a habit, the easier it becomes, and the better your results will be. So I challenge you, build discipline in your life. Start small and stay consistent. Every day, do the things that matter, even when it's difficult. Stick to the routines that move you forward, and over time, your discipline will unlock doors you never thought possible. It's the key to long-term success, and when you master it, nothing will be able to stop you. Let me give you a piece of advice that has the potential to transform your life. You cannot rise above the level of the people you spend your time with. The truth is, the people around you have a profound influence on who you become. They shape your mindset, your attitudes, and your behaviors, whether you realize it or not. If you want to achieve more, you have to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and help you grow. Think about it. When you're constantly around people who are focused, driven, and successful, you start to adopt those same traits. You start to think differently, act differently, and push yourself further. But if you're surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, or settle for mediocrity, then that's the environment you're going to absorb. You'll start to think like them, act like them, and ultimately you'll end up where they are stuck. You see, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you want to be more, do more, and achieve more, you have to be deliberate about the company you keep. Surround yourself with people who have the qualities you want to cultivate in yourself, people who are disciplined, people who are positive, people who are constantly growing. The energy, the ideas, and the actions of these individuals will start to rub off on you. But here's the thing, greatness doesn't come by accident. You have to actively seek out those people. You have to be intentional about the relationships you build. It's not enough to just be around people who are doing okay or just getting by. If you want greatness, you have to find it and surround yourself with it. Seek out mentors, coaches, and peers who inspire you to be better. Be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and put yourself in situations that force you to level up. When you surround yourself with greatness, you'll notice a change in your own behavior. You'll start raising your standards. You'll start pushing yourself harder because you won't want to be the weak link in the group. You'll be surrounded by people who hold themselves to a whole higher standard, and that pressure will lift you to new heights. You'll start seeing possibilities you never saw before because the people around you are thinking on a higher level. They won't allow you to settle for anything less than your best. But the reverse is true as well. If you surround yourself with mediocrity, you'll start to accept mediocrity. You'll lower your standards to match those around you. If you're constantly around negative, lazy, or complacent people, that will become your reality. You'll start making excuses, you'll start accepting less than you deserve, and you'll stop pushing yourself to grow. Mediocrity has a way of spreading like a virus, and before you know it, it will infect every part of your life. This is why it's so crucial to be conscious of your circles. You might have to make some tough decisions. You might have to distance yourself from people who aren't supporting your growth. It's not about being mean or cutting people off. It's about recognizing that you can't afford to let negativity, doubt, and complacency hold you back. The most successful people are selective about who they allow into their lives because they know the power of influence. But let me be clear, it's not just about seeking greatness in others. You also have to be that person for someone else. You have to contribute to the greatness of the people around you. Elevate others. Share your knowledge, encourage them, and help them grow. The relationships you build are a two-way street. When you help others rise, you rise with them. So ask yourself, who are you spending your time with? Are they pushing you to be better, or are they holding you back? If you want to unlock your potential and achieve more than you ever imagined, you need to surround yourself with greatness. So don't settle for less and don't wait for greatness to come to you. Go find it. Seek out the people who challenge you, inspire you, and help you grow. Your future depends on it. Let me tell you something fundamental. Nothing happens without action. You can think about it, talk about it, and dream about it all you want. But if you don't take action, you're not going anywhere. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who step out and take bold, consistent action every single day. The truth is, ideas are great, plans are important, and preparation is essential. But action is the only thing that brings results. You can have the best strategies, the best intentions, and the clearest vision in the world, but without action, they're just words on paper. It's not about how much you know, it's about what you do with what you know. Knowledge without action is useless. So here's the question, what are you waiting for? Most people spend so much time planning, preparing, and waiting for the right time to act. They think they need all the details figured out or that everything has to be perfect before they take the first step. But let me tell you, there is no perfect time. You'll never feel completely ready. You'll never have everything figured out, but the moment you start taking action, that's when you start learning, growing, and adapting. Action creates momentum. Action creates progress, and progress is what leads to success. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not the ones who have all the answers up front. They're the ones who start taking action, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. You don't wait for everything to be perfectly aligned. Start where you are. Use what you have and take that first step. Every great achievement begins with a single action. The key is to start, even if you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet. Once you take that first step, the next one becomes clearer. But let me tell you something else. Action is not a one-time event. It's not about taking a few big steps and hoping that's enough. Success comes from consistent action day in and day out. It's about making small, positive actions part of your routine and sticking to them even when you don't feel like it. It's the daily grind, the willingness to put in the work, even when it's tough, that will ultimately determine your success. Many people stop taking action because they hit a setback or face a challenge. They think, I gave it my best shot, but it didn't work out. But let me tell you, setbacks are part of the journey. You will encounter obstacles. You will face failures, but the key is to keep going. Failure is only permanent if you stop trying. If you keep taking action, learning from mistakes, and pushing forward, you're guaranteed to improve. It's only when you stop taking action that you truly fail. The other thing you have to realize is that action builds confidence. The more you do, the more you learn and the more you grow. When you take action, you gather experience. Experience builds skill, and skill leads to success. Confidence is a byproduct of action. The more you take action, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable of achieving great things. It's like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. But you've got to be disciplined about it. Action is not just about doing something, it's about doing the right things. Focus your energy on what moves you toward your goal. Don't waste time on distractions or activities that don't serve your purpose. Be intentional about the action you take and make sure it aligns with the vision you have for your life. So let me make this simple. If you want to change your life, you've got to take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for all the pieces to fall into place. And don't wait for the world to change. You must change by taking the first step, then the second, and then the third. Take action every day, no matter how small. Eventually, those small actions will turn into massive results. The only way to move forward is to act. And if you commit to action, you'll soon see the results you've been hoping for. Keep moving, keep acting, and watch how your life starts to transform. Let me tell you something. Fear is the greatest obstacle between you and your success. It's not your lack of skills, your circumstances, or your resources that will hold you back the most. It's fear. Fear keeps you from taking the first step, from trying new things, and from going after the life you really want. Fear tells you you're not good enough, you're not ready, you'll fail. And here's the kicker, fear is always lying to you. You see, fear is natural. We all experience it. Every single person who has ever achieved something great has had to face fear. But here's the truth, successful people don't avoid fear. They don't run from it. What they do is they move forward in spite of it. Fear is something we all have to deal with. But the difference is that successful people don't let it control them. They act anyway. You need to understand that fear doesn't go away just because you wish it would. It doesn't disappear once you reach a certain level of success, but you can learn to face it, to understand it, and to overcome it. Fear is simply a feeling, and feelings are temporary. If you let fear dictate your actions, it will keep you stuck forever. But if you choose to take action despite that fear, it will lose its power over you. The moment you act, fear starts to fade. Here's the key. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite it. If you're waiting for fear to disappear before you take action, you'll be waiting your whole life. You will never feel ready. You will never feel perfectly prepared. Fear will always be there in some form, so you have to learn to work through it. Take that first step, even if your heart is pounding. Move forward, even if you don't have all the answers. The best way to overcome fear is by facing it head on. You have to put yourself in situations that challenge you, that stretch you, and that make you uncomfortable. The more you face your fears, the weaker they become. You start to realize that fear doesn't have the power to stop you unless you allow it to. It's in those moments of discomfort and fear that your greatest growth happens. That's when you expand, when you discover your true potential. But don't get me wrong, fear can serve a purpose. It's there to keep you alert, to keep you on your toes, and to protect you in dangerous situations. But too many people allow it to go beyond that. They let fear dictate every decision and they stop taking risks. But here's the reality: no risk means no reward. If you want to create something extraordinary, if you want to live a life that's above average, you've got to take risks. And with that comes fear. Here's what I want you to understand. Fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Imagine looking back years from now and realizing that fear held you back from everything you could have achieved. Imagine that sense of regret, wondering what could have been if you'd just taken that leap. The worst thing you can do in life is to live in fear and never take the chance to see what's possible. Regret will eat at you far more than any fear ever will. So what do you do when fear shows up? You acknowledge it, but you don't let it control you. You understand that it's a part of the journey, and you keep going anyway. You embrace the discomfort because you know that growth is on the other side. And every time you do that, you become stronger. You build your confidence. You build your resilience. You develop the ability to keep moving forward no matter what. The key to overcoming fear is not to wait for it to go away, but to keep moving in the direction of your dreams, no matter how afraid you are. Fear doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be your fuel. When you feel the fear, use it as a sign that you're about to step into something great, something that will push you forward. Fear is simply a reminder that you're on the edge of growth, and growth is where your potential lies. So face your fear, step into it, and take action. The more you do, the less control fear will have over you. You'll realize that your power is greater than your fear. And once you understand that, nothing will be able to stop you.